Today I'm showing you how a force follow shot looks, what exactly happens with the cue ball and how to play it. Before we start with the lesson, a short hint. From time to time I post the so-called "What would you do" riddles on Facebook, where you can discuss and upload videos of you performing a shot in a certain situation. Towards the end of this lesson I will give you a possible solution to the scenario, but now let's start with the actual lesson. You may know my video "You are playing this shot wrong", where I was showing you how to play a ball that's hanging in the pocket. I told you just to hit it thin with no spin and use the natural path of the cue ball instead of going a complicated way. I'll set the shot up again and try to repeat it. I play the shot hard enough so that the cue ball should go easily up table, but somehow the cue ball still hasn't enough speed to go up table. We'll look at the reaction of the cue ball again and try to analyze what went wrong. The problem with my shot wasn't the speed. I accidentally played a tiny force follow shot. That means I hit high on the cue ball and played a follow shot. On follow shots the cue ball usually of course follows. But in this shot there is no place to follow, because right after hitting the object ball I'm already hitting the rail. So the problem is that the cue ball still has follow on it. And the force of the follow is always bringing us to the direction that we're aiming to. So in this case the cue ball still wants to go into this direction after hitting the rail, and that's why it gets so slow. Look at the same shot if I follow even more. The cue ball has that much follow in it that it seems to just stop magically. Let's take a closer look in a slow-mo video. You see, after hitting the rail we still have that forward rotation that causes the cue ball to stop. So to play the shot successfully, we don't add follow to the cue ball. We hit center, maybe with a touch of outside English, and just control the path of the cue ball with the cutting angle. Well, in the first example the force follow was something bad for us, but there are some situations where this shot is very powerful. We are playing 10 ball and have the wrong angle on the 9 ball. We can't cheat the pocket because we would miss. So here we are using the force follow shot to get position. And of course, there are other ways to get position, but this video is about force follow. We are aiming high on the cue ball, maybe a touch of left English, and then we hit pretty hard and follow through the cue ball. And as you see, the cue ball bounces off the rail, then the force follow grabs on the table and brings us down table. Or here we have another situation, we have the wrong angle, so we just force follow the cue ball to get position for the 8 ball. Or another example where we of course could play a stop shot, but to be honest, a force follow shot just looks great. And here we have another situation that is a little trickier than the other ones. We are playing 8 ball, our last solid is hanging over the pocket and we have to get position for the 8. But there are a lot of balls in the way. You had very good ideas how to play the shot. One of them was to hit the 2 ball just thin and go one rail towards the 8 ball. I made this shot on my second attempt. Another idea was the 4 railer. You just gotta be a little careful with the side pocket. So I would probably prefer the 1 rail position, even if I made this shot on my first attempt. But as you may expect it, there is a solution that has something to do with force follow. And some of you suggested the force follow shot without knowing about this lesson. Here you can see a kind of force follow shot that holds the cue ball with a shot on the 8 ball. And here you can see the shot with more force follow. That's also what I did to get position for the 8 ball. It took me 4 attempts for that shot. So you see, it looks great and can bring you great results, but it's not an easy or controllable shot. Thanks for your videos and your comments, guys. Before I show you 2 famous force follow shots, let's talk real quick about that shot. If you want to play that kind of shot, the object ball has to be pretty close to the rail. And you have to be able to play a really strong follow shot. So to do this, you have to aim very high on the cue ball and follow through the cue ball, of course. And the force follow shot is really hard to calculate. The situation where we were playing 8-ball, for example, was a really tough shot to execute. And now I'm showing you 2 examples.
You know, he just is such an automatic player. He just lives the game and understands the game so well. Things just come so natural to him. You know, stuff like that would be, you know, it's so entertaining.
We're going to have to get a replay on that shot.
Just look at the reaction of the cue ball. It's just amazing what Patron can do on purpose on his first attempt with the cue ball. And look how far away the 6-ball was from the rail. It was just an amazing shot. And here we have Alex Pegulain.
Because of its proximity to the 7.
What a nice shot. Billy, that was really well played. To hit one that hard and then have that degree of control over the cue ball, that's years of experience.
He hits the 2-ball full and stops the cue ball with a little bit of force follow to hide behind the 9-ball. It doesn't look as spectacular as Patron's shot, but believe me, that was a very tough shot and was executed to perfection by Alex. Well, that's it for today. Just try it by yourself. It's a really fun type of shot. And let me know, did you already know that type of shot and have you used it successfully in a big match? Just leave me a comment. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you at the next lesson. Take care.